Let's get to the late games. We got a slate of late games, and we got my favorite quarterback on my favorite team to bet in the NFL, Tua and the Dolphins, 3.5-point favorites on the road against the Broncos. We got to pass on this game. This is because it's a buy low, sell high, which means we have to take the Broncos, and we're not allowed to take the Broncos. So this is a no-brainer. Everything says take the Dolphins in this game. Take the Broncos in this game. And we're not allowed to.
Yeah, in my own pick polls too. My own pick polls, I'll just do the Dolphins. I don't care that it's a trap and that all the money will be coming on the Dolphins, and this is the worst time to bet on the Dolphins. As long as Drew Lock is the quarterback, I'm with you. I will not be putting money on Denver. But this is 100%. I'm with you. You got to play the Broncos here, but we're not touching it because we're both on Miami.
We're done. We're done. What do you think of the Jets visiting the Chargers and the fact that the Jets were 10-point dogs when the line opened and the money has come in on the Jets and it's been moved to 8.5?
Those idiots. No, I'm kidding.
Seriously,
I don't know. They're probably just thinking to themselves, it's Joe Flacco versus a rookie QB who's looked like he's hit that wall. But in my mind, if Bosa's back, him and Ingram on those two DNs, Flacco is going to be a statue back there. I'm happy to take the Chargers, but I would not put this in the competition. It's just a lot of points to be laying with them. But this year, we've talked about it with Joe Flacco. We just don't think he's a good quarterback. And I think he had his game of the year last week, and he still couldn't win that game. So I'm happy to take the Chargers this week.
Oh no, we're not putting this game in the contest.
No, I'm just saying betting wise.
All right, you can take the Chargers. Listen, if you have a better big bet of the week than Washington, feel free to overrule me. I'm a benevolent leader that way.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I don't know, if you're telling me that it's going to be the Cowboys at plus 7.5 against the Vikings, then I might have to reconsider. The Packers are plus 2.5 on the road at Indy.
How do we not take the Packers?
I was just going to say you got to take the Colts.
I can't do it, man. Wow. After that, because they had such a big win, and the Packers played so bad that situationally it just feels like this is going to be a really easy bounce back game for Green Bay, where they line up right against the Colts. The Colts are good against the run. I think the Green Bay scheme is going to do well against this Colts front scheme, and I think they'll be able to run it on them. I think Rodgers will be able to pass it on them. So in my mind, I think I'm buying low here on the Packers. I think I'm getting a good number at plus 2.5.
I hate betting against the home team at less than 3.
It's been good to you this year, though. This year's been weird with the COVID where there hasn't been a home field. So these road teams under 2.5, they've been winning and covering. So it's one of those where I'm with you. Normally, I'd probably play the Colts here, but I have to play the Packers after last week.
I also, you mentioned the matchup. The Colts defense can fly around. The Colts defense can get to the quarterback, and they create a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, I can't doubt that. But at the same time, it's Rivers, man. He played really well last week, so I'm expecting this week he'll play like crap because he's been doing it all year. He'll have a good week and a bad week.
What do you have it power rated at?
Had it power rated -1 Packers. So that's what I mean. I think that –
Wow.
I had them at a road favorite. So I think I'm getting good value on the Packers.
All right. Would this be the Cowboys at the Vikings, 7.5-point underdogs? Would this be the big bet of the week if I hadn't preempted you with the Washington football team?
No, honestly, I was going to make it at the end of the show. I was probably going to make it Houston because it's so ugly. Everyone was going to hate it. That's why I was going to take such big to make that bet with Houston. But I'm cool with it being Washington because, in my mind, you're exactly right. My numbers are saying that's the right side, and I'm overthinking it where I don't want to take them because I just hate backing Alex Smith. So I'm good with that. But this game here, I can't do it. I cannot take the Cowboys. They had their everything game against Pittsburgh. They've had a bye week now. Most people are going to think they'll help the young QB having more time getting right, getting used to the offense. I can't do it. I could see Dalvin Cook just destroying one of the worst run defenses in football in the Cowboys. So I'll take the high number at the Vikings. And I know they're trying to scare me off with it, but I'm going to take this one with the Vikings at home.
Well, look, the Cowboys are saying that Andy Dalton might play.
That's even worse for them. He's horrible.
So you like it even more if Andy Dalton plays. You like the Vikings even more.
I would. That guy, as soon as a little thing goes wrong, we've all seen it for all these years. He just falls apart. And their O-line still has a ton of issues. And I can't back the Cowboys. I know it's a smart side to take because it's such a big number, and Kirk Cousins really can't cover big numbers like this. But this is more of a bet on Minnesota controlling the game with the run game. So I like Dalvin Cook to get right in this game. I like the Vikings here.
We have a text chain, a bunch of us at the Action Network. Matt Mitchell's on it. And last night we were texting about the Bears game. The Bears were up 13-10. And someone said to me, what's wrong with this team? And I said, bet the Vikings live right now because they're going to win this game by 10. And it came close to 10. They certainly won enough to cover it by. I think in that moment, they were a half a point underdog. So you clearly would have won. I like this Vikings team. This Vikings team to me, and we've talked a lot about this, actually Stuckey and Raybon on the Action Network NFL podcast have talked a lot about this. Like the Vikings were going to be one of those teams that early in the year, it was going to be sort of training camp because Mike Zimmer didn't know what he had on defense. He needed time to figure it out. Now he's had that 4 weeks. They went into the bye. Since the bye, they've won 3 straight games. They're 4-5. You and I talked about betting them for the Super Bowl, and I believe we both got a future on them. I don't know that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I certainly like their chances to make the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and that was actually funny. Someone sent me a photo from, I guess we posted a pod, and maybe it was May, and we gave out a bunch of bets. And the comments are hilarious because people are just so stupid on Twitter. They're yelling at us about how dumb we were about talking about the Ravens under win total and the Pittsburgh to win that division. Because I think we gave out plus 400, plus 450 maybe, Pittsburgh to win that division. And
yeah, exactly.
It's just funny where now we're at this point in the season. I think we both got Cardinals at 50-1 or 45-1 to win the Super Bowl. We've never felt better. It's that's a live team in the NFC where all these teams, they all have so many glaring weaknesses. It's such a toss-up year that I'm really hoping they don't update these playoff formats because there's some of these tickets, you have to read your fine print. Say they do move it to 8 teams, make the playoffs or whatever weird thing they might do. They might cancel some of your future bets. And this is something people need to be aware of, that it depends on the casino and where you bet it. Some of them might cancel your future bet if they change the playoffs because that technically changes what they gave out and changes the odds. So it'll be something to keep your eye on, but I'm feeling good right now with our futures. But our Bears, I bet they're over of wins. What the hell, man? They're 5-2. Now they're 5-5. Now I got to sweat the 7 and 7.5. This is brutal with these Bears, man.
I said to in a different text chain last night, lamenting the Bears. I was texting with my buddy Matt, and I said this is a 5-11 team that's going to go hire Eric Bieniemy.
I actually wouldn't hate that move. I just love imagining you stomping up your stairs, going into your little office here and ripping down your Bears flag. And being that'll show them.
I believe the text last night was, we're is this the worst offense that we've ever seen in our history of Bears fandom? And I wrote back 1 first down since the second quarter and 14 total yards. It could be. And then the next text is after Nick Foles went down, he just wrote back, I think he's dead. And I wrote back, seriously, look, his foot is twitching like he's dead. And then we were like, this is the most Bears thing ever, to actually kill their quarterback at the end of a game in which they're flailing away.
Yeah. And
then we were just glad. Then we were glad he was alive.
I watched the second, I passed out early because I had to get up to do stuff this morning for obviously the podcast. And I watched the second half this morning. How do you not get an offensive touchdown at home against a Vikings defense that has no names on the D-line. They got no names in the secondary, and they might have like one good safety who's been in the league forever. Oh, man, Bears. Because that defense, it's such a waste. They're like one of the best defenses in the league, and it's just wasted away. But we can move on, buddy. I won't keep reliving the pain with you.
That is a generational comment right there. Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites on the road in Las Vegas. Speaking of Eric Bieniemy, future coach of the Chicago Bears.
Don't care that it's the public play of the week. I want to thank Vegas ahead of time for moving this down from 7. Give me the Chiefs. Give it to me. Love it. After a bye week, we talk all the time. Andy Reid after a bye week. He just covers, baby. Don't think about it. 6.5. Chiefs already lost to the Raiders. The Raiders supposedly did a victory laps around their stadium and buses. Give it to me, the Chiefs, man. I'm taking the adjusted line, too. I'll take them minus 10.5. I love this with the Chiefs. It just feels like they're gonna beat the crap out of this Raiders team.
That's an interesting play. Would you want this to be in the contest over the crap-tastic selection we have so far?
This is our one good team. I promise you one good team. This is it, baby. I'm giving you the best team in football. We're
going to have to decide like who's potentially in our top 5 then. Rams visiting the Buccaneers. The Rams are 3.5-point underdogs in Tampa. Monday Night Football.
Got to play the Bucs here. Looking at this game, these teams match up well, but the Rams just lost their all-pro left tackle. And what do we know about Goff? Goff cannot handle pressure. And in that game, after that tackle went down, they really didn't do much on offense. So, in my mind, I know the Buccaneers just played the perfect game on offense, but I think this is going to be more of a defensive game for the Buccaneers. So, primetime game, Tom Brady against Goff. We all know the history here. We're all going to be taking the Tampa Bay. So, I'm sure this will be a public play by the end of the week. But as long as it stays under 5, I'm happy to take the Buccaneers.
Are we ready to commit to a Monday night game if we're ready to commit to a Thursday night game?
Yeah, is that too much for us in 1 week? Yeah, let's.
That's a lot. I mean, that basically means we're in agony from Thursday until Monday.
Yeah, so we'll text about it, but I can't see us playing the Monday because I like that we're done on Sundays. I prefer it, honestly.
All right, so right now the games that we love, and again, all subject to change. Seahawks, if we can get it at -3, we are willing to bet a Thursday night game. Ravens -6.5. Jags +10. Texans +3, which would be our alternative big bet of the week. If I'll get to it, we also like the Eagles +3 against the Browns. That is our hornet's nest. We are walking right into it. The big bet of the week, courtesy of Chad Millman, Washington -1.5. We also like the Chiefs -6.5. And then we got the Bucs, but you know what? I'm taking the Bucs out because we don't want to bet Monday night.
And we finally come to everyone's favorite segment, our Survivor pick.
Survivor pick.
Oh, God. This is a tough week, man, where they're begging us to take the Vikings and they're begging us to take the Chargers. And there's zero chance we've used either of them yet. What do we want to do, man? Do we want to keep our trend going or we just fade? Like the Jets, we know for a fact they're trying to tank. They're trying to get this number 1 pick. There's no doubt in my mind, especially after watching that Patriots game. They had that game every which way, and they completely gave it to them at the end there. So I don't hate taking the Chargers. This is a week we have to get rid of using them. It's a little scary, but in my mind, it's one of those we have to go against Flacco still, right? You like the Vikings better.
Oh man.
You have better faith in the Vikings?
I have so much more faith in the Vikings.
All right, that should be – all right, everyone go and bet Cowboys money line, and we'll take the Chargers in our pick pool.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. But you are cursed, Chad. You are cursed.
I'm not cursed. I live a fantastic life. You know what it is? It's not cursed. It's like – I've been so lucky in every other way that the betting gods, this is how they choose to inflict pain on me.
No, that's the Bears QB. Yeah, that's how they get you.
That's been a lifetime of pain and agony. And now I feel badly. Like I've passed it on to my 14-year-old who's watching the game, and like they threw a screen on 3rd and long. He's like, "What are they doing?"
So yeah, all right, we can just send it out to the Twitter folks, and we'll put the Vikings or the Chargers because everyone's gonna be in between these two, and that we're so due for people to get knocked out of these survivor pools, man. This is like getting crazy at this point. So we're gonna coin flip it.
We got it.
One of these teams is losing. I feel like we know that for a fact.
We got to go with the Vikings.
All right.
I'm making an executive decision right now.
Putting all the blame on Chad. I like this feeling. I feel light now.
I'm taking full responsibility.
Perfect.
I can own it. All right. So I gave everybody our picks. Once again, running them down. These are the games we're going to choose our 5 from. Seahawks, if we can get it, -3. Ravens, -6.5. Jags, +10. Texans, +3. Eagles, +3. Washington, -1.5. Chiefs, -6.5. That's what we will choose our 5 from.